Welcome to my stream. My name is Jules. As always, when you join me here on my channel, you are one of my treasures. Welcome to what I like to call Area 5T1, where we do discuss 5Ts. I'm going to apologize right now for the lighting over here. It's still sunlight, and it's still coming through my blackout curtain. But that should go away soon, like the next hour. Um, but I do want to welcome everyone. Please um, do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. We had, I did just do an earlier live stream on Latter Daily Digest. They contacted me last minute, and we were going to watch the Lori Vallow Bell sentencing, which we did. We watched it later on. It was recorded by someone else that we know, and it's actually a relative of hers. And then we kind of gave our commentary on it. I will get the link to that video and put it in my channel here, so you guys can go check it out. We had a great time, and being truly honest, really showing how Lori was basically practicing what you would call the practices of a cult within a cult. What basically happened with Lori is she started reading a book which is called Visions of Glory. And it is common amongst many hardcore prepper type Mormons that they will read it, and it is if one takes it a certain way, one can see that there are some very cultist followings. Many people who have read it have really thought that they are basically gods or will never die, and they're immortal. And in fact, in the last part of her testimony, did give comments about that. Those are her closing statements as she represented herself were amazing. I couldn't believe that one would say that in court. Welcome, Yadira. Thank you for joining us with Latter Daily Digest. Hello, Ashley. Welcome. Thanks for joining on Latter Daily Digest. They got me at the last minute, like 5 minutes before, so I wasn't all done up. So I was like, I'll go without the camera. But I think it was a great way to represent our channel on there. The trial was great, and those were the closing arguments. Welcome, Tanky. Welcome to the stream. And it was kind of funny in the end when Lori was kind of giving her closing arguments. Thomas got a little rambunctious, and I said, and how she was saying how one will never die and all that. I said that she was reincarnating herself inside Thomas. It was perfect timing, because he started getting a little wild. What do you mean by sativa? I've never heard that term. I'm a transgender woman, Tanky. I've never done any type of cannabis. Never in my life. Okay, I'm gonna put this is a link to us doing our little commentary on Lori Vallow Daybell trial. It was fun. About I think it was exactly 51 people viewed it through my channel, so that was kind of a coincidence, but it was we had a great time. Sorry about this lighting over here. Yes, please do hit a like and subscribe. Thomas just knocked down the blackout curtain I have there. Let's try to get some better lighting. So yeah, I apologize for that. Thomas will lay down on it. I just have it tacked up. Hey Alice, my day was great. I was on an earlier live stream. If you wanna, right there, I posted. Thomas. Guys, I don't know why Thomas is doing this. I know he wants to lay down right here, but go ahead and lay down, buddy, but just don't pull down the curtain. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Alice, we were on a stream. The link is up above where you see the yellow. That link is, and yes, Raven, he wants the sunshine. That link is to Latter Daily Digest. We were watching and reviewing the Lori Vallow Daybell trial. It was interesting. Now, it was a recording. It wasn't live. We got the recording from Megan, which we had here a couple weeks ago, and we did it at a quicker speed, and went through the trial quicker. Hello, cute kitty. And it was an interesting trial. I watched the first days of the trial and now the last day of it. The big thing about it was she represented herself, and when like today she says, "Oh, I learned a lot of things about law." This, well, not enough to get her out of what she went. Tanki Yadira is here as a moderator, so she has to be able to listen to everyone. So after the stream ended over there, I got myself done up because I had no makeup on. When they got me, they texted me, and I think we did close to a 2-hour stream there. And I think what they wanted to do is make sure it didn't go over, because they do AI. I didn't know that one can do AI generated shorts but your live stream cannot be more than 2 hours long. So you have to cut it off right at the 1:59. But we'll continue to do our regular live streams. Maybe I'll make shorts from my older live streams that weren't that long. But yeah, we had a great time. Randy and Jean are always a couple of people that are great to talk with. They did an interview with me what was it? They did it just a couple of weeks back. Yeah, I know he has 3 signs up to now. This is come here. This is sit down, And then once I have him sitting, I tap on the floor and um, he lays down. I taught him that one. So I just got to have, more to, try to get him more signs, and it's all a Pavlov's dog type of theory that one has to do it with. You have to, basically, it's classical conditioning uh, to, to learn. Um, he came with two signs. I taught him the third. So hello everyone and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Let's try to make 10 likes. If you're on a phone, double tap your glass or your screen and that will hit a like. If not, just hit the thumbs up. If you're on a computer, to subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. Any you never know. That's a good way to look at it too. He might have done some classical conditioning to himself. Hey Jennifer, welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like. We today can talk about many things. I don't know how many of you may have watched the Lori Vallow Daybell trial or had seen parts of it. She was basically a woman, actually a Mormon woman, had read this book, which is popular in the Mormon crowd. It's called Visions of Glory, and it talks about like the apocalypse and how one can be, a god and stuff like that, and immortal. And she basically thought she was one, and committed a series of murders, basically. And today was the end of the trial. And two friends of mine and I covered it, actually using another girl's video footage of it because we all know her. She was here on our channel a couple of weeks ago. And she's actually cousins with Lori, and she was yeah, those victim statements were very moving. Um, we did we played the video. I don't know if you were here, Raven. We played the video, and along with that, we did some commentary on it. It was funny because at one point, after she finished talking, Thomas got a little rambunctious, and I said, "Oh man, she's possessing Thomas from the courthouse, or from jail, actually, because since this was later, then." And it was strange how she started bringing up scripture, and it wasn't so much biblical scripture that she brought up. She brought up Mormon scripture, and the judge didn't recognize it, so it was foreign to him. So it's like it was completely. It was actually a pretty funny thing to watch. Um, if I were on StreamYard, I would probably edit some of it and actually put it on here. But you guys can always go back and watch the video. today, please, as always, consider dropping a, you know, if you do hit a like, if you are new here, do subscribe. Consider dropping supers just to continue helping. We're going to continue helping Texas. I'm trying to get a link to, I think I found that Megan has a Cash app. I heard Venmo has been down. I love this little community we have, which is nice because you guys talk amongst each other. We talk with each other. I think it's a great community that we have built here slowly. I couldn't even see what it said, Yadira, with that font. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. One thing, though, is we may get, I don't know, today we may get some religious people coming in here because I did put, the Lori Vallow Daybell trial as one of the hashtags, and I bet we catch some Mormons coming in here since she was. That's my guess. I don't know. I may be wrong, but let it be. You know. Hello, Seeklugs. Well, that's good, Ashley. I mean, just, keep doing it as much as possible. Um, you know, it'll help you the more you go out and pass and, just seeing yourself as yourself it's awesome. You slowly build more and more confidence. Um, and that's all one has to do. Oh, you're from ABQ? I'm in the 505 also. Yeah, Triple J, I would probably. Oh, okay, I know where that is. I live up by the Sandias. I live up by Tramway. Yeah, actually, I'll probably be living Albuquerque in by September. I actually put a notice on my apartment today. I told them September 11th. Yeah, I've been down to Old Town once. Now, Old Town was like a cool place to go check out. Just that I I didn't really get out there. It was hard to find parking. Um, I found that was a little difficult. Triple J, please do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Oh, I'm sorry, Raven. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Oh, wow. JJJ. There are many things. Being a drag queen is a performance art. Um, the makeup is more exaggerated. Being transgender, you truly feel different within yourself. You feel uncomfortable, you know, as you grow up. You feel uncomfortable presenting as male. There is truly a difference. Um, there is a difference that you feel. Um, and the line between both, like I said, drag queens are performance artists. Their makeup is very exaggerated, while when you look at a trans woman, it's a little more natural as to how, you know, I mean, makeup in itself is, you know, something women do, but, and some may do it a little more exaggerated, but um, it's just a little more, you do it like a plain makeup. Yeah, like I like to do my wing eyeliner, but some drag queens will really, you know, put on, put it on thick. Me, I try to keep, a little bit of a smaller wing. I mean, not a tiny one, but more, something that shows more. Um, and, you know, I don't feel bad. I just go out and present as myself. That it's what one feels inside. Now, I know many people want me to say, oh, well, the, there's the fact that I won't be able to have kids, or the fact that I will never be able to bear children, or the fact that, there is a different shape to the pelvis. Many people are try to use those as different, the certain parts of the anatomy. But, you know, what you feel inside is a lot different. And yeah, you can't change certain things in the anatomy, but like, the bone structure or even some strength. There's still some, you do lose strength once you get on your hormone, levels of estrogen go high and your testosterone gets low. But hey, Huggy, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. But other than that, well, also they have done a study about trans individuals, that there is different wiring to the brain. It's all in JAMA, in the Journal of American Medical Association, um, and you know many other medical associations have done it. And that, I like what Jennifer is saying here. It's how one feels within yourself. How many people? I'm a nurse, so how many people do I not get saying, well, I think this is what's wrong with me, and this is what the doctor should do. But, you know, and it's not like I just jumped in and walked over to my doctor's office and and said, you know what, I want hormone therapy. You know, I went to a therapist first who we sat down, we spoke about it, went through my childhood history, my, you know, teenage years, early adulthood, and everything. And after a couple of months, she did diagnose with what's called gender dysphoria. You know, and gender dysphoria is uh, the feeling of not feeling appropriate to what your body, to the sex assigned at birth. Hey Jason, I do want to thank you for joining us earlier on the other live stream. Well, now here we're going on a different tangent here. I don't believe in God, so um, you know, if you believe in God, then and I get a lot of people that come in and say that what I'm doing is a sin. Well, if it's a sin, then why did God let it happen? Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like and subscribe. We are only 2 away from hitting 10 likes. Once we hit 10, our goal will be to hit 51. I think for those of you that did join the earlier stream, the trial one, I think we had a great stream going there. We had about 51 people show up to it. Well, I'm seeing what you're saying, but you know, first of all, you got to think about there might be mixed religions or faiths in here. On top of that, most of us here are either atheists or agnostics. I'm an atheist. I've been through 2 major religions, and you know, all I see that is that faith, whether it's Christianity, being Muslim or Jewish or everything, faiths and religions do teach hate. That's what they're teaching. Corhorians, yeah, or as Joe calls them, the whores. Um, that is what Huggy Bear talks about Korahorians or Korahors. The Church of Korahor is an actual atheist church started by someone I know. So they do basically lessons about nothing. So it's like the Church of Seinfeld, basically. It's a church about nothing. Yeah, those poor kids. Yeah, it was horrible. And I do know. I do know when. If you were here for the stream I did with Megan Connor, she was actually related to Lori, or she is. Well, we just yeah, the most that you can say that the Church of Core Horror believes is what's called the light of reason. So basically, something that is tangible. God is like really an intangible object or person that we cannot see. The light of reason is a, it signifies a lot. It is signified by the light, by the line. The example of it would be like the line where day and night uh, are showing when you're out, like coming from the moon, say like when the astronauts were coming back, the Terminator line of the Earth. So that light is a light of reason, because when Apollo 13 did have their, uh, you know, module breakdown, they used the Terminator line, the line from the Terminator line, to navigate their spaceship back. So that was something tangible they could see. Oh, and that was one of our biggest projects in the past year. We called it Rapture. We had Rapture 505 and Rapture 2025. And what Rapture was, and it's not like the rapture that you see written about in the Bible, it was about a wrap, wrapping people up. We got people to donate blankets, and we would go give them to the people out in the cold that were homeless. We were just wrapping them up. Even our first Harold Joe, he went and bought like Red Baron pizzas, cooked them, cut them into slices, put them into foil, and go give them out to the homeless, two slices at a time. And this was money that came out of our own pockets. It, Not really. I mean, there's not the pressure of the whole world on ourselves. I mean, basically, we do what is necessary. I have no pressure of the world. Hello, Jay Hibbs. Welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like if you haven't already. If you haven't been to this channel before, please do subscribe. Well, thank you, Jay Hibbs. Thank you for the compliment. Um, Greatly appreciated. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do hit a like and subscribe. I would encourage everyone to watch the early video I did with Latter Daily Digest. I would also, on Tuesday nights, we do what is, I know it kind of puts a damper on us doing Transition Tuesday, but I'm going to be, I guess they want me to they're asking me to go over and be a regular on their show. and they need someone that to really give the intro because um, I guess I don't know if they want something that's a little more enthusiastic. Thank you, Jay Hibbs. I needed it to match my New Mexico T-shirt. I even have like yellow eyeshadow or gold eyeshadow. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Thank you. We might start getting more people right now. It is Friday night. People are getting home from work. Uh, yesterday, we did hit the 700 mark. Last week we did like 2,000 on one day and 3,000 the next day. So it's possible. If you haven't hit a like, please do so. We're one away from 10. Also consider dropping a super, whether it's a sticker or a chat. We are still going to send money to Megan. I'm still right now it's sitting in Cash App. I want to make sure she has a Cash App because Venmo has not been working, at least mine, and then I've been trying to recover it, and for some reason it's not recovering it correctly, so it's not sending it to the correct email address. So but at least the money is in the account and I can Cash App it to once I figure out it. She has one. Doing great, ordinary person. Glad to see you here tonight. We've now hit our 10, so now our next goal is try to make our usual goal of 51 likes. Yeah, we've been having a great time. This is actually the second stream I've been on today. The earlier stream, I was on another channel. Of course, at that time they caught me at the last minute, so if you go watch the other stream, you're just gonna see my face there and hear me talking in the background. I hadn't done my makeup or anything. I was like looking a mess, so I wasn't gonna show my face on camera. So, but it was a good kind of commentary that we did with the guys from the Latter Daily Digest. I would suggest, I will be being a regular guest now on their show on Tuesdays. Tuesdays with what they call it, Tuesdays with Tim. And that's always a fun time. What I might do because of that, what I might do is add like a Monday stream here on our channel. That way, since we'll be losing a stream on Monday, we can still, or be losing the Tuesday stream, we'll do the Monday stream. It is linked to my channel. It should be under my lives. I linked it to my channel. And same with Monday's stream will be linked to the channel, or with Tuesdays, it'll be linked to the channel because we do it via StreamYard, and you can link to your channel, and then all of your comments are seen on the StreamYard on their channel. As I was watching today, we could see Yadira and Jason popping up. Because I had my channel over here and I had theirs over here. And, you know, I could see your guys' comments from over here, coming over here. So, yeah, they're great at doing that. They go out and work out to do it. You know, they run miles at a time and then come back, you know, practice that finger clicking to get those trolls out right away. Sometimes they get them before I even have a chance to read the comments. Thank you, Ordinary. All those hugs, that's awesome, you guys. All of you are great. They're fantastic. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining us here, please like, and if you haven't already, do subscribe. Let's see what, you know, we can, I know some of you watched the video with the trial, others may have seen it on other channels. It was very interesting to watch. Now, my hashtags today, I kind of overdid what I usually do on hashtags because I did hashtag Lori Vallow Daybell trial. Also, I put on Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints because she was a member, and I put hashtag cult. So we might get a lot of different people coming in here. Then I did our usual, you know, hashtag treasures, trans girls of YouTube, LGBTQIA, ex-Mormon, and true self. So if we start getting, you know, different characters, it's probably going to be because of this. I want to see if it would bring people in and we could talk about it, you know, the trial. I listened to the beginning of it. I'll say listen because I was watching John DeLynne's Mormon Stories, and I turned it on as I was heading home. You know, I was driving Gem X, and what I did was I just threw my phone in the cup holder and, you know, listened to it. And because that way, you know, I always prepare in case getting pulled over. They don't say I'm distracted driving. I'm just listening to it rather than watching it, you know, on the little stand on my dashboard. She, even when she did her opening statements, she sounded a little crazy. It was everything was, let the evidence show, and then she would give what she was talking about, and then she would say, let the evidence show, and then talk about what she was, let the evidence show. It's like she just kept saying the same thing over and over and over. It was, but today her closing statements were kind of, how can I say, yeah, her opening ones were really annoying. Even today's, I can't say they were annoying, but they were surprising at what she brought, Well, I shouldn't say they were surprising. It was just, you would say, controversial in a way, because she brought in, not that she brought in biblical scripture, she brought in Mormon scripture. And, it's stuff that people in a trial that do not know, a jury or even a judge that aren't Mormon, they're not going to recognize who they're. When she talked about the prophet Moroni, um, that's a Mormon prophet. You know, if you guys ever drive by a Mormon temple and you notice a gold statue at the top of the, hey AC, welcome to the stream. You notice a golden statue at the top of it with a blowing its trumpet. That's Moroni. He was actually one of the prophets in the book, and then he is also considered to be an angel. And yeah, ran into a stream. Maybe he should run into a real stream and drown. No. Um, so, and then, but that's basically, you remember me, Purple? Well, welcome. Please do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. We've been, one of our main topics today has been the Daybell trial and sentencing. She got 2 more life sentences today, which is now a total of 7. So here's a question for everyone. What do you think? If someone's just serving a life sentence, so let's talk about this because I've seen this. Okay, so years ago, I used to work in the emergency room, and as a nurse, which I'm still a nurse, but what happened years ago is we had a patient declared dead, and several hours he spontaneously came back to life. So this is like pretty much a yes or no. And you guys can give me your opinion. If this guy had been declared dead and was serving a life sentence and then spontaneously comes back to life, would he be free? So should he be freed after coming back? Why not, Purple? Because he had technically, see, because it kind of makes you think. It's kind of like a moral dilemma. Hello, Lita. Welcome to the stream. Why is that, Lita? So basically, well, like right now, I did post a debate. I'm like, if someone that is serving a life sentence is declared dead, but then comes back to life after 2 or 3 hours, should they be free after that? That's my question. Thank you, Lita. Because, they were technically declared. No, now purple. Here's the kicker. Is this person it wasn't for a moment. They were declared dead, and like 3-4 hours later, they spontaneously came back to life. We did not shock them. We had already shocked them. We'd already done CPR. We had done everything, and the medical examiner had already come and said, no, the mortuary can take it. Because like Lori Vallow Daybell she's now got what, 7 life sentences. So what would it take to go through all those life sentences and actually, you know, hello everyone, welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do hit a like and subscribe. AC, we're just kind of, it was kind of a moral dilemma put out there, so I mean, there's many topics we can talk about. We can talk about transition, we can talk about triathlon, we can talk trends, we can talk teaching, and we can talk trucks. Those are the 5 T's of Area 5T1. Like, what kind of debate? I could already imagine where you're going to go. Well, AC, put down a topic. You're the one that would like a debate, but you can drop down a topic. And what about wars? There's wars going on everywhere, and they'll never stop. Unite as a country, first people have to accept people for who they are. They can't. It's gonna be hard to unite the country because people have preset in their mind as they have been brought up. So, for example, when someone is born, they are atheists. They basically have no religion, don't believe in God or anything. When you are born, when you're a baby, you have no concept of any of that. So why, but what your parents, and if you want, we're not going to unite as a country because Hello, Jack L. Welcome to the stream. Because you're going to have parents that sit on the conservative side and parents that sit on both extreme ends that are going to teach their children what their beliefs are, and then the people are always going to clash. Oh, I understand purple, but you're not going to have that everywhere. I have people consistently come in, and just because of what they were taught, whether it's a religious aspect or their political way of looking at it, they say I'm a bad person. Why? Because I'm a transgender woman. And it's because as a baby, we come in. How long have you been sitting in my stream, AC? Many people do. They come in, they instantly throw in there's some people that'll come in and they will say, may throw in the word chomo, or because they automatically assume that because or a lot of people will jump in and say, religious people will come in and say that I need to find Jesus. They don't know that I've been through two major religions, probably the two largest in the world, and one is the richest in the world. So I didn't judge you in any way. I'm an atheist myself. I actually belong to a church of atheism. We have a church for atheists. In fact, a friend and I may start another. But the big thing is that people from Christian communities and stuff will come in, and many of them will come in, and they'll come in like it'll be a trend. All of a sudden, one group will come in, and they'll all come in. And it just happens one right after the other. And like right now, it's not happening, but on a busy day, yeah, it does happen. There's people that come in and and question and say, you will never be a woman. You will, what is a woman? You need to find Jesus. You need, and then the people that immediately walk in or come in and throw in a MAGA, just put in MAGA or Trump 2028, which can't happen. There are people that come in here to basically exactly, Jennifer. Jennifer's here got a great fact is about people coming in here and telling us we can't use the bathroom that we identify with. Oh, I know. We deal with the trolls. AC, we're not excluding you. You want to debate? We'll debate. You know. Now you're. To me, it feels almost like. Well, actually, AC, being an atheist myself, I think you're seeing more of a turn towards atheism than towards church, being a churchgoer, although it has changed a little bit in the past year and a half. You were starting to see more people go towards atheism, especially during the pandemic. Why? Because many people were questioning their religion or questioning their church. This, and we're having a little way of looking at, is this stuff in this book true? I went through two major religions. I was Catholic as I grew up. I questioned the Bible my entire life, and then I joined the Mormon Church myself, and that's why this Daybell case has been a big thing. And I left the church, and then joined a group of atheists. Mainly, a lot of us are ex-Mormons, and we formed a church of atheists. And even in that, you'll start seeing things that will bother you in some ways. Well, faith, yeah, I know faith and religion can be two different things, but finding God to me is, there's no proof. I need to see God in person, face to face, right now, and I would believe in it. But if I don't see him, I won't believe. It to me, seeing is believing, not believing is seeing. So for example, I can see the salt shaker here and see it. Many people question air. Maybe people will question me about air and oxygen. Well, I can see the salt shaker and hold it, but oxygen, I don't have my pulse oximeter here, but I can grab a pulse oximeter, put it on a person's finger, and measure their pulse and their oxygen level. So therefore, I know the air is there, but I have no way of measuring whether God is there. I have no meter that shows me that. Correct, Yadira. Yeah, you can ask a question. It's a muscle. It's a muscle that has its own electrical system to pump. You can see if I help people care about you. You can measure it and how much, such as your kids or parents and all that, love you. It was something I felt within myself throughout my younger, as I was a youngster, I always felt that I did things more feminine. So you feel that you don't align with that biological sex. Yeah, but I can have faith in someone, but I'm gonna say I don't have, and I can, yeah, I can feel the love from my daughter, but do I can see her. I can see her face to face, but not, I cannot see God nor Jesus. I mean, I know she's in Florida right now, and I don't see her, but she can fly over here and I'll see her. And I still love her because I know where she's at. What part of Florida, Purple? Oh, she's in Fort Myers. I used to live in Cape Coral. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Does he ever go to the Everglades games, or did he ever go to hockey games? Ah, well said, Yadira. Great statement there. Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Yeah, there are flat earthers. Well said, Jennifer. Tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to get our whole display back up here. I got me a little torch to be able to put the cables back together and put them with shrink tubing on there. I can explain a lot of the physiological processes on those because my anatomy and physiology teacher was the person that made the discovery of how light energy travels into your eye and creates a chemical reaction to form a picture. Your lungs breathe because of high carbon dioxide content. And your nose smells because there are sensors in there. Your brain has memory centers, mainly right there, which can be measured, believe it or not. I've actually had a test, actually physically had that test done myself. I it could just spontaneously happen. It didn't have to be a big bang, but things adjust to what they need. I moved from Florida, moved here and I was able to adjust to a cold environment. The day I showed up, it was snowing here. We adjust. I am open, and that's why I analyzed my beliefs in God and found that I can't believe it. I started after when I started college is when I started losing any type of faith. And I had gone to Catholic school through the 7th grade. And I read the Bible as a textbook in college and we compared it to, I think it was, what was it? Some Greek myths. And basically, the Bible lands the same as many Greek myths. If you look at it, Jupiter had Hercules, Zeus had Perseus. They were demigods that came down and performed like miracles, like Jesus. They performed these feats of strength that regular people couldn't do. What did Jesus do? He came down and performed miracles, which is like the feats of strength that these demigods basically performed. Go ahead, AC. I'll also mention if people really want to examine it, God created the first transgender woman, and it's in Genesis. And basically, in that book, it explains how God created Adam from dust on the ground. Exactly, Jennifer. Many religions restrict you. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking, with people always trying to, you know, push biblical facts in here. So, for example, people will read in the Bible that God created Adam from dust. But then when he noticed Adam was alone, he created a woman. But what did he do to create that woman? He took a part of Adam, which was his rib, and created Eve. Nowhere, and this is the common argument I get, there is nowhere in Genesis saying that the DNA was changed to create the woman. So their Adam or Eve has to be a transgender form of Adam. So that's where we get the first. Well said, Yadira. Yes. Some of the worst wars, what are they? Due to religion. The Crusades, the even right now what's going on in the Middle East has everything has to do about religion. No, you're entitled to your opinion on that. Hey, Mike L. Yeah, but people always tell me that he changed the chromosomes to XX. So he didn't have, two gametes to change over. So that's where you got to think about it. He had one rib, which was all XY. It's not offensive to be pro-life because there might be you have to think why you're pro-life or pro-choice. For example, me, I'm pro-choice. Why? Because if someone did something to my daughter, and she ended up having to have the baby because of pro-lifers, that baby's always going to be, she's always going to be thinking about that. I came up with my theory on that. That is my way of saying how trans people came about. Because Eve was created from Adam. That is the way that came about. Correct, there's two-spirit. And many indigenous cultures for a very long time transition people have always done so. Two-spirit is what someone that is what am I thinking? Intersex. It is 8:17. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like and subscribe. If you're just joining us here, Remember, you're on with Jules. This is Area 5T1, where we discuss the 5Ts. We did talk about transition, triathlon, trans teaching, where we do talk about high demand religions, organizations, and cults. We also talk about being prepared in emergency situations, some cooking tips, and urban myths, and then we talk about trucks. Anyway, Victor, mine didn't have to do with my lifestyle. I had already, even before I transitioned, it. And why does God have to dictate what my lifestyle is like? That doesn't have anything to do with it. God should be accepting of everyone if he is a good God. But from what I see and what people talk about is that anything to do with God and religions and faiths and the way people talk, it becomes hate. No, but it seems like people that, to me, it seems like people come in and the way he's saying, um, is he's saying that people turn away from God, so that I turned away because I'm transgender. I don't believe in him, Victor. That's the big thing. And from what I understand, when I read the Bible, it's Jesus that died for us, not God. Jesus was his son. Just know, Purple, if I get certain of my subs in here, we're going to turn this conversation off because I have people with religious trauma. So why? Because religious leaders have caused trauma to them, or any leaders in their faith caused trauma. Why don't you go watch this video about the lady that decided to kill her children because she was reading scripture? That is the sentencing trial that happened today. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Earlier I just placed the link to a stream I was on earlier. It was about the Lori Vallow Daybell trial and the sentencing hearing. This was basically about a woman. Basically, she created a cult within a cult, which there is such a thing. Hi, Hallie. Welcome to the stream. She was a member of the Mormon Church. She read a book, and which would delve into some very deep, dark topics, and she basically created her own way of looking at things. Ended up killing her 3 children and her I think her ex-husband. So, and this can happen, this was, yes, in a Mormon church, it can happen in any other. Yeah, I mean, and it happens in Mormon church. It's common because people will twist, and there's so many sects of it. In other words, there's like 20, or no, wait, 20 is being nice. I think there's like over 100 different groups that base their beliefs on the original Mormon uh, Book of Mormon from the 1800s. Um, that's true also, Purple. I mean, we can look at our government. Um, we can look at the government, we can look at anywhere. Large groups of people. With power. It is all broken down into, and then the best thing to ever read, and actually I was watching, and I've watched this documentary for the second time now. I don't know if you guys ever watched the documentary on with Leah Remini and when she left Scientology. That was actually a pretty interesting one. I watched it a long time ago, and she left, and one of the guys that was like, yeah, the aftermath, yeah. And then Mike Render left. Mike Render was pretty much like, almost like, he was like, there was David Miscavige was the head honcho, and he was like his personal assistant, basically, like his security detail. And basically he um and Leah go back and review a lot of things, and it was very interesting. And basically, when you look at any high demand group, organization, religion, I mean, you can break it down to Walmart or MLMs, anything like that. They have an organizational structure, and they're all the same. Even if you break it down, and yeah, head of the Office of Special Affairs, the OSA. So they're all break things down the same, and what happens is it was also for the Sea Org. He used to be a member of the Sea Org. Um, and when you look at it, if you put the like Scientology and some other organizations and even Mormon Church, they're all like break down the same. And when I was watching it this time around, though, you find all these little, almost Easter eggs, you can say, that you didn't notice last time you saw it. So, hello, Hallie. So like last time I saw it, I was still a member of the Mormon Church. So this time I saw it, I caught all these little Easter eggs. It's almost like catching all these little Easter eggs, where I compared it to the Mormon Church and found little things like, I found that I didn't realize that Dr. Stephen Hassan was in it. Oh, you have a good night there, Victor. Dr. Stephen Hassan is the person who created the bite model and has studied cults in and high demand groups. And he developed what's called the bite model of authoritarian control. And basically how groups will control your mind. Yeah, there's the snake handling ones and everything. which I found kind of interesting because I didn't catch it this time. But when they brought Hassan on, he was a member of a cult in the, I think, early 70s, late 60s, called the Moonies, which is pretty interesting that he was able to come out of one and has become one of the most renowned experts in it, in cults. You know, and like they said, I would, I would. You're right. Political parties in their own way are. Yeah, both can be. You know, both have their ways of thinking. When you when you break it down to the model of authoritarian control, you can, and I suggest you, um, I always suggest to people is to break down things that they might be members of or organizations they might be members of, and take yourself through the questions of the Bite model. When I found out about it, I it's and with the Mormon Church, I broke it down. I actually have 4 videos on my channel, one with each letter, one with B, which is behavioral control, one with I, which is informational control, one with T, which is thought control, and E, which is emotional control. And I broke down the Mormon Church into each of those, and basically it hit like, I would say, 95% on it. And so this is a great way to look at things and determine if you're in a high demand group or even a cult. Now, I would suggest you read it carefully, because don't take, if you say you're a member of one group, uh, and 5 points on there hit positive, that does not mean it's a cult. Um, I probably don't see many people fall. It's like me, I register as an independent, as I don't want to go completely left wing nor completely conservative, which I used to be a hardcore staunch conservative. In other words, um, yeah, it was all about my gun rights, and you know, and yeah, everything was conservative. You know, everything. I would just go in and everything on the right side. Now, I stopped voting. Well, I swapped to an independent when I moved here to New Mexico, because then I can vote by what I see advantageous to what's going to help me. Because, yeah, I do believe in my Second Amendment rights. I very much do so. But I also am pro-choice. So, I I'm trans, so I believe trans people should have their rights to live they truly who they truly are. Yet, I also believe in looking. I kind of agree with Trump on the how he passed the executive order that age 19 they should be able people can transition, but they have to wait till age 19. I think that's a reasonable age. Yeah, age 18 you're an adult, but you're still, I mean, what's one more year? Um, uh, because because when I look at it, uh, parents making the decision for their kids to transition, I don't think is correct. Because with kids, you may, like with me, I felt it as a teenager, and yes, I had to hide it a lot due to my, uh, I would say, due growing up in the, being Mexican, and all the machismo kind of push in, through your family, but then then I don't think that it would have been good for me to transition as a teenager, because I still hadn't set myself in life. You're still, kind of set yourself as in a different group from time to time. So I think maybe allowing the kids to do therapy in their teens is a good thing, but not physically start transition. That's my way to think of it. Maybe not start the physical and chemical hormonal transition, but at least start the counseling. And if they want to do a little social with clothing, that's the thing is, yeah, I think a lot of people can see others part. I think you're right on that, Purple. And I think what happens though, media take to aside too much. Now, here on the internet, and I found that I find channels here on YouTube that are not so right leaning or left leaning. They go to certain uh, areas on the internet. You can get certain news articles from certain sites, and it'll tell you which one's too right leaning, which one's too left leaning, but yet which one's in the middle. And I think that that's the best thing. I have found news media here on YouTube that is more center leaning. Scratching lottery tickets, you do not know what I am feeling. I could be, yeah. I mean, let's look at it this way. For example, um, my transition, I've only been in it for a year. So I'm straightforward, I'm transparent in everything. So when I go to work, I still have to present male. Why? Because I haven't changed my documentation. So once this, all this, the presidency went through, I couldn't change my documentation anymore. All the DEI with all the DEI stuff, I wouldn't be able to. So on top of that, I work with I'm a nurse. I'm a licensed practical nurse, and there's a registered nurse. My registered nurse is hardcore right. I try to be as center as possible. She, if I showed up one day and I was showed my trans self, boom, she would be livid. I identify she, her, hers. I've heard her call another trans person in the VA an it, which actually I've seen people here on the internet, here on YouTube, identify as an it, as they are non-binary. Non-binary people will identify as they, them, but I've seen one that does identify as it, its. That works for me. I mean, I can agree to disagree with people. That's what my, the purple. You're. This is what my channel is about. Yes, we can bring up debates like this and talk like this. As long as it doesn't become hate. Like I said earlier, and it might not be you, but I have many people, and there's a few people here that have been blocked out, and I'm sure it's been either political stances or stuff that they've brought up, about being trans, and I have two great moderators in here right now that can delete those comments even before I see them. Like here we have this guy, his name was scratching lottery tickets until we win. He says, please get him some mental health help. Well, first of all, this person does not know that, yes, I went to a therapist before starting my transition. It's usually a requirement if you're going to use your insurance. Okay, sounds good, Yadira. We'll see you in a few. And it is a requirement. If your insurance is going to help with any of it. So I have been to a therapist, and they didn't jump on the first day. Oh yeah, here you go see XYZ doctor to transition. No, it took them months before they came up with the diagnosis of gender dysphoria. So this is someone that's obviously, spreading some hate, and we get this a lot. And another constant one we'll get like that. We'll see, oh, please bring back mental asylums. So, like me and you right now, we're talking in a peaceful manner, but yet we're getting people that talk in a different manner. Yeah, I can see that it'll bring us both sides. And what gets me though is it just kind of, the fact that they still jump in, and rather than just swipe away, they come in and give a comment or continue debate. And and that's me. I don't go into a conservative chat room to say, hey, I'm trans, let's do this. Be snuggled up down there. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Please do leave a like and subscribe. Actually, Huggy, it was funny. Earlier we were doing, I was on with Latter Daily Digest doing a video on the Lori Vallow trial, since it was sentencing today. And right when she started giving her closing arguments, it sounded like Thomas got possessed, because he started barking and going nuts. So I was like, oh, because she started talking like reincarnation, stuff like that. And I said, oh, look, she's already transferring her presence into Thomas. It was kind of funny. The video is on my channel. If you want to consider, please do drop a super chat or a super sticker. All super chats, we've got some money set aside right now in Cash App, so you can always send it straight to $ Jules Treasures in Cash App. If not, you can send a super chat here, and we are sending that to Kerrville. Yeah, and that's the problem. Yeah, there, and there's a lot of them wanting to be part of the crowd that you're gonna see it on both sides. A lot of people say that it's become popular to, like you'll see the ones that want to become Proud Boys, or or any type of group like that. Like you could basically say like a militia group. While you see others, and many people say it's a trend to be trans. Well, I'll tell you what, it wasn't a trend for me. I felt it all my life, but I didn't come out till age 51, which is late. But I absolutely felt it. I found my true self. And if you want to watch another video, you can go onto my channel or on Latter Daily Digest. They did an interview, and I do explain what my life was like. I keep my channel 18 plus content. That's how I have it formatted. But why do you say you think you saw my daughter? That is not my daughter. That is another person putting up what they think is a joke. I will constantly get people, I'll say, Mom, I told you to stop doing this. Ma or Grandma, I told you. Or they'll say, oh, Grandma or Grandpa, I told you to stop doing this. Uncle, why are you on here again? You, like I said, those are the hate comments. People thinking that they're funny. Hey, Yadira. Uh, one of the things that we'll see constantly. Another thing that we see constantly on here that people think it's a funny joke, they'll put in either they'll put Transformer or they'll put Autobot or Decepticon. Or they will put as yeah, yeah, I know. When you said that, yeah. But like I was explaining to you, that's other people's ways of trying to think they're funny. Other people will put, you know, as of yesterday, now they're all, oh look, Ozzy is still alive. Oh, I thought you were dead. It's just, like I said, that those are the things that people put in there. Exactly, and that's some people will make that thinking it's funny, but the thing is, these people don't come up with original material. They keep dropping the same jokes over and over. It's like the same jokes that other people say. Correct. Cute. I mean, people try to give comments, but a lot of especially the fact that they're repetitive. Like I said, they don't come up with their own content. They're just, repeating what others have put on there in the past. You know, the fact that it's repetitive content and it's not new content is um, is the big thing. Let's see. Was it a text message? Sorry, guys. I'm using my phone as my camera right now. Um, oh, it's a TikTok notification, so it might be some of my friends' TikToks. That's one thing I haven't started. As you guys have noted, I have started. Um, I have done some shorts. I have discovered now you can do AI shorts. You can make your own AI shorts. I don't know if you guys saw the one where I made a Gem X short. It's like 7 seconds long, and it's literally a white Xterra traveling up a mountain with a flying saucer over it. And I just made that using AI. That thing is awesome. And then it's got the Close Encounters of the Third Kind music in the background. And if you guys get a close look at it, you would see that it has aliens looking out the windows in the Gem X. And that was all. What's going to save? What's it? Oh no, we've done that before. Yeah, that's cool. If you want, I'm 55 and I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Some of them may be bots, but others are actual people. You know, bots you can tell because they'll just kind of repeat the same thing over and over. Well, some people will kind of, you know, actually discuss, you know, actually make content and talk about things. Guys, if you just want to sound off where you, how old you are, and where the area where you live, you know, Purple has asked. I think that is cool. We can always learn where all of us live, and you know, we don't have to be like specific location. We can, you know, just say, like I said, I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm 55 years old. I'm gonna step away, everyone, and I'm gonna grab a snack. Okay, I needed chocolate for some reason. Hey, dear, you know what we haven't done in a while is play music. Another Gen Xer, huh, Jennifer? I'm Gen X. Hello, Goku. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do hit a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm Gen X, and that's why the name of my Xterra is Gem X. I named it after all of you. It's a gem, kind of like my treasures. And it's an Xterra. So it's the Gem X. What year were you born, Purple? Welcome, Bentley. Welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Isn't Gen, isn't 94 a Gen, is it a millennial? Here we go. Millennials or Gen Y born between 81 and 96. Now, anything born, let's see, and then you have Generation Z was between 97 and 2012. And now you have what starting 2013 and on is Generation Alpha. Mm-hmm. A Dove bar. Purple, that's kind of a yes and no type of answer. Married but separated. She lives on the other side of the country. My daughter's a Gen Z. Guys ever watch? There's a YouTube video with a song about millennials. Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Oh wow. Oh wow, I could see how that would be. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Yeah, my ex-wife and I had my daughter, and I was 30. I mean, we got married at age 30. We probably ended up conceiving her on our honeymoon somewhere, or she was basically a honeymoon baby. Basically still in our honeymoon phase. Uh, See, I wanted a daughter and we got a daughter. I don't know why. I always just wanted a daughter. I even already had a name picked out for her and everything. I had a friend, yeah, and she had a child in her 40s, like early 40s or something. She couldn't even, for the longest time, like she would date people. She was a beautiful young lady, but she just had no luck finding someone to marry. And then much less, and all that. Took her a while to get pregnant. Oh wow, Yadira, that's interesting. Which kind of on the topic of polygamy, what do you guys think? Nowadays, when we look at the LGBTQIA spectrum, a lot, and they say plus because they say LGBTQIA plus because now they also consider polyamory a part of the the community. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about polyamory? Do you think polyamory will take it a step further and bring back polygamy? There's a way to think about that because I actually had a doc that I worked with in the ER, and he came the day when they when the Supreme Court overturned that, gay marriage was okay. Um, then he kind of threw out this point of view, and I looked at it too, which is and at that time I was still a full-on believing Mormon, thinking. Then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, if they're allowing, you know, and this was back what about I don't know how long ago this was. It has to be close to 10 years now. I started thinking to myself, well, if the LGBTQIA family can have marital freedom, why don't they just call it marital freedom? And I said, and every different type of group that has different belief in marriage, as long as it's of age, just have, be able to marry who they want to. Well, then he brought that up to me. He's like, Jules, do you think that'll bring uh, polygamy back? I'm like, you know, Fred, I don't know. So, you know, yeah, polygamy can be messy. Just when we look it back, and if you guys just basically look at the Mormon Church, Joseph Smith, the founder, had 30, I think it's 35 wives. But when he did it, his is very controversial because he told his first wife, he didn't tell him as he continued to get all these polygamous marriages, and and then what would happen is he would force the women to marry him by saying that an angel with a flaming sword told him that he would get killed if they didn't marry him. And then he told that to his wife eventually, and that's when the Doctrine and Covenants 132 came about. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting topic that someone had brought up to me in the past. Yeah, I think polyamory, I don't know, it'd be a difficult. The thing with me would be that it'd be too hard to monitor if you're where the others in the group are, if they're not doing polyamory somewhere else. And to me, I'd be basically concerned about STIs. No, everything's been good so far. Fluid monogamy. Hmm. Yeah, right now, Alex, you're right. Nowadays, monogamous relationships are hard to maintain, especially if it's I, and compared to being a Gen Xer, before you were brought up that it's like, yeah, everything had to be, we were on the cusp of, we were right at that borderline of still believing in things before marriage, but yet we were the ones testing the waters hardcore about, well, let's just do this before marriage, so, and then it's progressed more. throughout time. So, like the 80s were still that time where you don't really want to, but you still would before marriage. Okay, Ordinary. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Please do leave a like and subscribe. We're actually having some pretty good topics right now. I think we've been on the topic of, yeah, I kind of picked that up there, Purple. We were actually starting a discussion about, actually, I think it's like relationships right now is where we were looking at. Um, I posted the question, since now we have the good old alphabet soup of being LGBTQIA plus, what everybody would, where people stand on the topic of polyamory. Is polyamory a step forward or a step behind legalizing polygamy? Which actually in many societies through the United States, that we still see polygamous marriages. Of course, they're not legal ones. You know, they'll usually be married to one, and I know this because from studying, you know, the FLDS, because I like studying all the different branches of the LDS. Since I used to be LDS, I'm an XMO, XLDS, whatever you want to call it. Um, they, the way they do it is usually, you know, a man will get married to one wife, and then legally, in the legal sense, and then the others will be spiritual wives. If you look at the mainstream Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which are the regular Mormon churches, which is considered what they call the Brighamite branch, which was the one that would, and this is, this could go on forever, but when Joseph Smith was killed as president of the church, Brigham Young took over, but they thought that his son was supposed to, and they formed one church that his son took over and one that Brigham Young took over. The one that Brigham Young took over is the mainstream church right now. You know, you do see all the other different branches, but the Brighamites are the main ones that you see. And where was I going with this? Then you got the FLDS. But even some of the Brighamite ones, there's been known to have, the Brighamites still believe in that you can have multiple wives after death. Yeah. Um, they now, yeah, and yeah, they believe that. For example, I was married in the temple, so, and obviously I was still presenting male, so I had a wife with a temple marriage. When you get married in the temple, you're sealed for all time and eternity. Now, if my wife were to pass, then I could take on another wife, get married in the temple with her, and have two wives for all time and eternity. And It could go on and on and on instead of, you know, with multiple wives. But if I were to pass, my wife could not get married to another man in the temple. So it's kind of a weird thing. I've been in the I've been a little bit in the Scientology rabbit hole. I've been rewatching the, like I said, the Leah Remini um, series, and it's been pretty cool because I've now watching it with different eyes, and what's cool is I'm starting to see cult experts that I've read about now. So in there, and it's pretty cool. Yes, Jennifer, it is. The Mormon Church is all about being patriarchal and controlling women. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. As always, you are a treasure here. Welcome to what we call Area 5T1, where we discuss the 5Ts. We talk about transition, triathlon, trends, teaching, and tips. And today we've actually gone along a route of talking about high control groups, I guess. And we're waiting for a question to be asked about women that may be controlled. And we're just waiting for, because we were just discussing how polygamy is really a way of controlling women. I was just giving examples of how the mainstream Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints still does have polygamy in it. For example, Jennifer, that is true. That is a big thing about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's what they think of women. I had a friend, he married a beautiful young lady. She went to school, got a bachelor's degree in nursing. She became an OB nurse, and eventually she worked for like maybe a year. Had their first child, and after that, boom, stopped working, and basically they ended up having 3 children, and that's it. She just stayed home. And of course, this is a controlling guy that cheats on her all the time. Which I know from another point of view, because I had a relative that worked with him, and she used to catch him all the time. So welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do leave a like and subscribe. Yeah, Jennifer, you're pardon the pun, but you're on par with that question. Yeah, it is true that there are a lot of places. Yeah, They're controlled for baby making. There's no other way to say it. And to be at home, just stay at home with the children. I've seen it too many times in patriarchal societies. Uh, and it's not just the former church I was a member of. Um, you'll see it in certain um, cultures too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of cleaning up my desk. I'm looking for a nail clipper. There's the new magnet for my phone. Yeah, but sometimes tradwifing is forced onto people. You know, when, for example, like I said, I know several people and their husbands have used it to manipulate them and and then basically cheat on them. In fact, pretty soon I'm gonna try to get one of my friends and we can do, and her channel is about that, about being a trad wife and how she was cheated on and manipulated and all of that. If you do want to go watch her channel, I would suggest you do. It is called Life Take Two. She's a great friend. She just texted me a little bit ago. She's a great person. I can't believe someone did what they did to her. So, and now she was a good way. I mean, unfortunately, sometimes we go through those experiences. And that's what we have to go through. And then we learn something from it. Hello, if you're just joining here, please do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. I do want to thank everyone that was on our stream earlier when I was on with Randy and Jean. Oh yeah, it was really bad, and she has a great channel, so I would suggest you do go watch her channel. Yeah, and everything purple. Everything's individualistic. Every case, every person, it's going to be an individual experience. I can it, and that's I always give the example when I worked in the emergency room. When I worked in the emergency room, I could get 10 people come in with chest pain, but they're not all going to be the same case. Yeah, we're going to work them up all the same, We're going to do the same workup, immediately start doing an EKG, chest x-ray, do blood work. But by the end of the night, not all of them are going to stay in the hospital because not all of them are going to be heart attacks. They may be, someone was playing baseball and a softball or a baseball bat hit them in the chest, but it just hurt so much they had to go to the emergency room. Uh, you know, they may come in because of chest pain because they're having shortness of breath or stuff like that. There's always a difference in things but that's why you have a workup in how you do things, but each one is individual. So yeah, you may have trad wives in general, but each one is individual in the case on. Yeah, and there are some extremes of how the trad wife um, has taken off. But unfortunately, those have been the ones that have been able to capitalize using this platform, using YouTube. If I can probably think of one of the biggest examples would be Ruby Frankie, and with her channel 8 Passengers. If you guys ever want to watch the documentary on that, it's on Hulu. It's called The Devil in the Family, is it? And it has actual footage Hello, Marianne. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do leave a like. Why so late? What do you mean, the live stream? We started at 7 o'clock. We were gonna try to do, I don't know if it was like 6, but I did go into another live stream that invited me over. My outfit today is a New Mexico t-shirt with jean shorts. No stockings, Marion. Did you hit a like to the channel? Thank you for hitting that like button. Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Earlier I was on doing a live stream on another channel. I'm going to post that live stream. Um, I don't know how many of you may have been following the Lori Vallow Daybell trial. Um, I went on a channel and did a commentary, helped do commentary on that. Um, I think we're still prior. We're probably close to that. I don't know. I'd have to check what our weather is. That is the other live stream I did today. Please do go in there. Yeah, and remember, any money that goes into the Cash App or via super chats or super stickers this month is also going to. I'm gonna send it over to Megan Connor to buy in socks, like little ankle socks. Um, it will be donated to get gift cards for those in Texas. I do have some money set aside right now in my Cash App, and oh yeah, that I know someone that actually got that spiritual advisor coach, Jody Hildebrandt. She was actually a like counselor recommended by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She would, people would be sent to her by the church if they were having issues. Um, so yeah, there's multiple people that you could that went to Jody Hildebrandt. In fact, I don't know if Daybell. I think she may have gone to Hildebrandt also. Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Yeah, Jody Hildebrandt was just in herself was not and I don't even have heels on. That's the worst part. Exactly, it's not a foot stream. Well, it depends. The thing about you have to get used to high heels. I have boots that do have some high heels. I have little ankle boots with small heels. But the thing is, first you have to get used to small heels. You can't be walking around in stilettos all the time. Yeah, and especially when the front of the stiletto shoe gets skinny. I mean, and just crush your toes in. I mean, I would have to get a shoe in a wide because I have wide feet. I and some I would probably say so. Um, oh yes, Marion, but that's not what what we concentrate on the channel about. We're here to have conversations, not about all about heels and stockings. The way you talk about them, it's become an obsession, which can be unhealthy. Oh, wow. Well, bye, Marion. Someone got upset. Yeah, I mean, most of it would be would hardly ever be seen, right? And on top of that, it's really for only for the usually more brides take them off at the reception. Yeah, eloping would have been much more fun. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Please do hit a like and subscribe. Remember, you're on with Jules. Please, uh, welcome to Area 5T1. Remember, you are a treasure here. I'm sure they make them. Get yourself a pair of Vans. Vans are cool. Who says that, that are weddings as traditional as before where you have to wear a pair of heels or anything like that? Not necessarily. You know, one can start different traditions. I think I will. Oh, wow. It's 9:44. We're already almost 3 hours into the stream. I think I will do another one of my high demand religion videos um, tonight. And let's see, I can do a I'm trying to think. What is it? Hello, Annalisa. How are you? Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Please do hit a like, subscribe to the channel. Remember, my name is Jules. You are a treasure in here. We do discuss the 5Ds on the channel. Hello, Naj. Please do hit a like to the channel. I'm doing great. Thomas is right down here, laying bundled up. Well, it all depends why you elope. If you want to do it like a spur of the moment thing and kind of just run off and do it because that's what you guys want, that can be romantic. But if you just, there's many reasons to elope, but you too, Jennifer. Have a good night. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here. My name is Jules. Remember, you are a treasure here. Please do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Well, that's true about the wedding industry, or keep it to people that aren't independent. Don't go for these fancy wedding planners. Yeah, $40,000. You might as well save that and put a down payment on a house at least. Yeah, mine and my first wife, we had a very simple one, uh, and hardly cost anything. I mean, our DJ was someone that was a friend of someone she knew. Of course, we were still members of the church then, so the wedding hall was free. Someone took pictures because she liked to do photography. I mean, we had so much free stuff. Hear a Black Hawk flying overhead. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I think what we'll do is go to 3 hour and 30 minute mark and then go from there. What we will do is, then what I'll do is I'll jump off the stream, maybe make a video. Me? Do I make money doing this? Several ways. It is monetized right now. So I don't know if any of you have gotten commercials. The other day someone says there was commercials jump on the stream. So, but I think that's when we were using I think that's when we were using yeah, because the ads automator is off right now. But yeah, sometimes the recording will throw commercials in between. And sometimes what will happen is while we're streaming, they might put commercials in there. Oh, so you do get the ads on TV. Okay. So those ads, depending on how much of it you watch, a few cents may go to me. Now, if you look down at the bottom where you are, where the stream is, there might be a dollar sign, a little box with a dollar sign in it. That little box with a dollar sign, if you click on it, it'll pop up amounts. And one will be a super thanks. Another one can be a super chat. So those, what you do is you would pay the super chat. Say like you want to do a $5 one. You do a $5 super chat, put what you want to say in there, and then you send it. Then it pops up and it's highlighted to me in a big box like this. And then I will read super chats word for word, no matter what. Unless it's a very hateful comment, but I've had the mods have caught that before. But we've made like so far this month, the revenue is at 286.31. So my biggest month has been 528. That was month number 2. But it takes time to get monetized. Now my shorts views can also get money. And that's by depending how many people view the short. So what happens here is, like, if you do a super chat, like last night, we made I think it was $20 in super chats that we got, but because it was Mavis that gave it, and see what we got. We got $14.07 because they take out YouTube takes out their part, plus I think they take out taxes out of that too. So, um, I mean, then we have different days depending. Like Friday, July 18th, we did $100. We did 96.21. So that was probably somewhere around $120 we might have made that day. But fees and taxes get taken out. But now comes what happens with the money. This is extra money to me. It's an extra source of income. So the first thing we do is we take what we make. So say I were to get paid today, and we make this 286. That's in there. I would take, on a usual month, I take 10% out, and we give 10%, and we buy things for homeless people. We take another 10% and we donate it to the Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico. Then we take 10% more and we donate it to what's called Animal Humane New Mexico. That's where I adopted my dog. It's all, charity pretty much that we're doing. Donating to charity, doing, some work. And then after that, we cover the overhead, which is like the internet bill. And then after that, try to upgrade the computer system. I mean, right now it's pretty well upgraded. I do want to get one bigger monitor. Maybe do a triple monitor setup. Right now I have a dual monitor setup, just that one, they're not matching monitors. So I may want to do a triple monitor because I have a 24 and a 22. So I might do two 24s and get one of those stands where I can mount them, and it's a mount where you can have one on top and two off to the side. Or you can even shift them to where there's one in the middle and one on each side. I mean, it's all of matter of, how we want it. And then we can use it for more overhead for other stuff that we're going to do on the channel. I do have one part of my channel where I like to cook. We can maybe take money for the overhead to buy the ingredients for that food. We can also, like, say we work on the Gem X. Well, with Gem X, what we can do is when we're going to work on it and, we're going to film a video that will, attract Xterra people and, maybe get a lot of views from people noticing the Xterra, and make us money from all those views. Well, there's going to be overhead in buying parts for it. So all of it's just going to turn around and make more videos. So that's how we're going to go. Probably one of our biggest things will be to buy. I'd like to get another tablet just to have here and can show you guys how the numbers are. Our next goal is trying to make 2,550 subs. Right now we're at 2,380. Okay, Purple, you have a good night. Is that just gonna leave us, Yadira? Because yeah, it's just gonna leave us. And yeah, we'll be back live tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, tomorrow I'm cooking, but I'm just making food for Thomas. I shouldn't just say just making food for Thomas. I'm making food for Thomas. His healthy food. But all in all, I know I haven't been able to finish Gem X, all the work I've been wanting to do. I might film some of that tomorrow. After we finish here today, I think I'm gonna do one of the high demand religion videos and work, just work on that. We haven't done one. I haven't done one in a while. Thank you, Muffin. Yeah, I see. The thing is, most people find one niche with a channel, like focus on one thing. I'm gonna focus on transition. Well, you can. What happens is like, they just, and that's all they talk about. But me, I like to diversify and have many different topics. And we can talk about everything, and that's why I came up with the 5 T's. Um, when I was trying to come up with my channel, I started thinking of what, what can I come up with that will attract people to it? And, I came up, well, yeah, I want to call it Area 51, but I don't want it to be Area 51 because everybody say I'm just copying it. Obviously, I did buy the sign. So what I did, I knew I was going to talk about, transition. I want to talk about triathlon. So I found 5 topics that started with T, and that's how I came up with Area 5T1. So I wanted to give a variety of topics to talk about, and then find different niches where it will, focus on the, many things that we can grab different audiences from. Use different hashtags, stuff like that. What we're going to try to do is, let's see, today is what, the 20, today's the 25th, tomorrow's the 26th. So last Monday we hit 2,600. And last Friday, so what we can do is come on tomorrow. Tomorrow we can do, we'll shoot again for the 7 o'clock live stream. I may pre-schedule it. So I may pre-schedule it, that way people know it's there and it'll sit there and they can see it, and then I can log on to it when it's time to. I think it was fantastic that the many of you that did show. Not really. I think tomorrow, it's been hot, but I do need, thing is tomorrow I do have more parts writing for Xterra or Gem X. Yet, I don't know if I'll be able to need to get to the one part this week or next week, because I'll see how it goes, because it is, every time I buy a new tool to try to get to it, I mean, every time it is a tool I can use. It, and at this time, I was missing them. When I get my pod, obviously I'll have repeats of every tool, but um, it is just a hard place to get to in the engine. But then I decide to, oh, what the heck, I'm gonna do new spark plugs. I decided. So then, on top of the spark plugs, you have the coils. Cars used to only have one coil. Now they have a coil on each spark plug. So now I said, you know what? You can replace one bad coil, or you can replace all six. That would cost me what, $80 for six coils. So what the heck? I ordered the six coils. And now it's gonna be spark plugs, coils, the sensors, a new air filter. It'll be all like one big. It'll probably be a long video, but I want it done before. One, I have to get it to pass emissions, to get registration before I move to California, and I need to make sure it's in good running shape, in excellent running shape before trying to drive 12 hours to California. Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Yes, Teresa, but the thing is, mine, I bought it for $1,500, and that's why I bought it. I bought it to restore it and to do the work like that. I didn't want to buy, because if you buy something new and you start having this, good night, Raj, you have starting issues like this, then it gets more expensive. I'd rather buy something older, restore it, get it working, and then, because like after all that, my next thing will probably be brakes. I wouldn't mind getting brakes done before I left. I may order the parts. I did see how much they cost, but we'll have to see. It takes one day. I'd rather buy the parts, go to a brake shop or go to a shop that does brakes, take them, say, hey, I bought these, and I just like them changed over, and then it'll need brakes and rotors. I don't know, I may even buy new brake lines for it. Hi everyone, and welcome. Please do hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I can imagine that it can be rough. You know, I live in a desert environment too. I'll need to make sure that there's enough coolant, and make sure I have enough coolant, extra oil, um, for when I travel to San Diego on the move. Um, and then, uh, and then we'll see how everything goes. No, I feel good. The thing about Fridays is that does get a little tiring, is I'm off on Fridays. So that's why I make sure to do a live stream on Thursday night, because I can do a live stream and we can stay on late. But what happens is, see, I have a friend from Florida. She is also member of LGBTQIA plus family, and she likes to call me every morning to tell me or to talk as I drive to work and she drives to work. The thing is, I have Fridays off and she works Monday through Friday. Well, I try to sleep in on Fridays, but lo and behold, she calls, and like today, I couldn't fall back asleep. I would have loved to have slept in because Thomas and I are pretty good about sleeping in the mornings. Then I fell asleep and took a nap in the middle of the day. I just kind of, my futon right over there, right where the alien pillow is, right there. I had my head on the alien pillow and then fell asleep. Boom, legs drooped down, and I fell asleep. I was watching a documentary, and just, and then as I fell asleep, I woke up, and then just a few minutes later, I got a message from Latter Daily Digest about doing the commentary. So, it was just, I loved doing the commentary. It was great. I had fun. But had I been able to sleep in the morning, that's probably why I wouldn't look so tired. And right now, I'm probably going to do another video afterwards. Um, One of my high demand religion Mormon church videos. Um, just because I haven't done a video in a while. So I think it's necessary to do. And also I want to start getting more shorts in on the channel. I was finding out that one, shorts do get more views. Two, I found a few more tips about getting more views. And I think we need to try to grow the channel. I mean, it's nice, yeah. I don't want to say that I wanted to have 200,000 people tomorrow. Because even when you look at channels that do have like 20,000, there's always just the little core group that shows up. The others are really a decor, so I have friends and they have 20,000 followers. When you watch their channel, a lot of you follow her channel, and I see you guys in there, and I see her mods in there, but it's not like you're seeing a lot of the others, and just like this channel, she gets the trolls. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to start wrapping up. It seems like like I said, I am going to go do another video. I will do one of my high demand religion videos. So I do want to thank you for joining me here. For those of you that did join earlier, as we did the review of the Vallow-Daybell verdict, thank you for joining us there. So things are going to change this week. Hey Joe, we're about to close off the channel, the stream for today, but I am going to start. So here's how things are going to start. I'm gonna start doing this week. From now on, what used to be Transition Tuesday, I'm gonna start doing a stream on Monday. Why? Because instead of doing the what I'm gonna do on Tuesdays, I'm gonna continue to go on Latter Daily Digest with all my Exmo friends there. They said they want someone that can do a good introduction. And thank you, Yadira. Um, and so, so I can do introduction, like, I guess so they want like a snazzy introduction, like I always do here on the channel, where I say, hello, my name is Jules, welcome to the stream. Uh, so I kind of, they want me to, try to find a way to do that for them. And so maybe come up with something snazzy, um, and, and then go from there. So uh, I guess I'll be a regular on their podcast, and then we will take Wednesdays off, and then every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like usual. Look at that. That just means more jewels, an extra day of jewels. So I do want to thank everyone today. Remember, I'm Jules. All of you are my treasures. And you were in Area 5T1, where we do discuss the 5Ts. I do want to wish everyone a good night. I will see you back tomorrow. Let's say at 7 o'clock. And have a good night.